Disclaimer, I do not dislike CinemaSins, and that is not a lie. For my next Everything Wrong with CinemaSins video, I'm going to be seeing the video on the mask, and I'd like to give another shout out to Leorio the Seikio Aniki for requesting this video. Enjoy the video, everyone.
Edge City. So in this world, is Kansas City just named Center City?
Except this movie was filmed in Los Angeles, so Kansas City has nothing to do with this.
So long ago, someone recognized the dangerous power of this mask and locked it in a chest underwater? That's a few steps short of parallaxing it. And everyone knows parallaxing is some lazy shit.
Yeah, that is what the movie seems to be telling us here.
I got those concert tickets you wanted.
BTS? Wait, BTS?
Well, I think this screenshot can explain to you who's performing.
That was the most sickening display I've ever seen.
I disagree. I think I'm wearing her down.
This is sitcom level writing. Is this a discarded episode of Friends? I've seen better writing on soap operas. I mean, the delivery isn't helping matters, but it's still the writing's fault.
Well, just because you feel that way about it doesn't mean that others do as well, and people find this movie to be great, so I'll give this my award.
You need a little change of pace.
If I had a nickel for every time change of pace was the inciting incident in a mediocre comedy, I'd have thousands of nickels.
Well, like I said in the previous sin, you feeling that way about this movie does not mean that others also feel that way, so I'll give this my award too.
I love how handsome Jim Carrey in a nice suit with a good job is somehow a loser with women.
Well, this is meant to establish Stanley's character as someone who is nice but is down on his luck and ridiculed by almost everyone.
Trust me, buddy. This is going to be the perfect night on the town.
Say what you will about this movie, but don't say it takes its time. We're still rolling opening credits, and they've already established the main character's plight and planned an event that will no doubt kick the film's events into motion.
Yeah, so...
Killer at 3 o'clock.
You are looking directly in front of you. That's noon if I ever saw noon. What the movie? How do you fuck this up?
Wait, your text makes it seem like you censored that F-bomb, but you didn't censor it. Also, this isn't a sin, but I'd like to say that I don't know how I missed that before with these, but I'll make sure not to do that this time. Again, that's not a sin, but I'll still make the golf hit sound so that we can move on.
Stand back and observe.
Now we've introduced the love interest, and we're still in the opening credits. This movie wins the prize for not f***ing around.
Narration.
Jim Carrey is so talented at physical comedy that's downright sinful.
Wait, so you say that Jim Carrey's comedy is sinful, but you remove a sin here? Is it sinful or not? Can't be both.
Is recording this footage supposed to be helpful in some way? All this really does is provide the location of the vault. Sure, Freeze later claims to have gotten some details about motion detectors, but I doubt he got that from this grainy-ass footage.
Well, it also provides them with a layout of the bank, and Freeze also thinks that it'll work for their heist when Dorian asks him about that.
These guys get chided for being too loud, but they also have a goddamn beer on the playing surface.
Pointing things out on the screen. So, CinemaSins adds 2 sins here to fit with Stanley ringing the bell, so I'll say, padding the sin count cliche.
Time period does this movie want me to think I'm... F*** you! That's the time period! Everyone gets let into the club except our protagonist. This movie's playing the hits.
Narration.
Oh no, the shitty-ass car the screenwriter saddled you with has broken down. Won't somebody think of the children?
Pointing things out on the screen again.
The cops shine a light and ask what he's doing in the water, and he says he's just looking for his mask, and end scene. Brilliant!
Narration. Again.
You're saying that everybody wears a mask?
Guy who just found a mask stumbles on a talk show about people wearing masks.
See the previous sin.
That's correct, Wendy. We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking.
Well, damn, you got me thinking. There's been a lot of arguing about being pro-masks and...
Next.
Oh, I see. It's like Roger Rabbit without actually acknowledging the tunes.
Well, yeah, since this movie is basically a live-action cartoon.
Get right up here! Don't be shy!
Is he able to just conjure out of thin air like Green Lantern? He's got a new costume, a sandwich board, and colored spotlights. It's like the genie from Aladdin came to life in the real world, but nobody ever explained his powers or limitations.
Well, this is a fantasy movie, so the mask's powers don't need to be explained, and doing so would only pad out the movie's runtime.
Licking balloons.
Pointing things out on the screen.
You expect me to believe this motherfucker has sage and allspice?
Well, that is what the movie's showing here, so...
Sigh! This dream sequence involves Stanley being confident, having a nice car, and almost kissing a woman. All things that should be 100% more likely to occur than 90% of the things that actually occur in this movie.
Narration. Again.
I'm just saying he went from literally tornado running around the city in the last scene to showing up in the world's longest limousine in this scene. So, is he God? Am I allowed to question anything he does? Is he omnipotent?
Yeah, he kinda is, but again, the rules of how the mask works don't need to be explained since that just pad the runtime and bog down the film.
Imagine being the guy who has to make sure all these staircase light bulbs are always working and lit.
But that's not important to the story that this movie is telling, so does it really matter?
He says, let's rock this joint, then spins the drummer, who then has a different outfit on and is enthusiastic about playing the masked guy's song, and once again, is he God?
Like I said before, he kinda is, since there are many things that he can do.
A kiss made her shoes fly off her feet? Seriously, just make this a cartoon. What the are we even doing here, people?
Well, even if this was an animated cartoon, I'm fairly sure you would have still questioned this regardless, my dude.
Matrix, eat your heart out.
Jeremy says something random cliche.
So he somehow got all this money back into this closet in 5 seconds time without using the mask's superpowers?
Yeah, that's what the movie's telling us here.
You know, you weren't putting up much of a fight with that freak show last night when he tried to kiss you.
Yeah, that was all her fault.
Because she didn't have a choice, as Tina says here.
Also, all activity in this city seems centered around the bank, a car repair shop, and a Coco Bongo club.
Yeah? So?
Possibly a representation of one of the Norse night gods. Maybe Loki.
I'm glad you bring him up. I've been thinking to myself that if you remove all the silly cartoon-style action and animation, the general mischievousness of the character is very entertaining. And actually more like what I was hoping to get from the Loki TV show. The sin here is allowing me a glimpse of the world I will never know.
But I don't exactly see how that's the movie's fault, so I'll give out my award again.
He has his gun out?
Yes.
That's not how physics work. Oh, who f***ing cares?
Decides that it doesn't matter that this movie doesn't follow real-world physics, yet sends the movie for that anyway. Classic.
Stanley ends up being shot at because the mask runs into this alley and immediately changes back into Stanley instead of safely Tasmanian deviling himself across town.
Narration. Yet again.
Honey better be here, Ipkiss.
I'm confused. The bad guy was going to kill Ipkiss by having him dropped into the printing press. Then he asks about the mask and puts it on. Then he says the police are looking for the mask, so we'll give them the mask. And then we cut to his thugs robbing Ipkiss's house? Did you cut too many scenes here or what?
Not really, because Tyrell and the others figured out that Stanley is the mask and he robbed the bank, so they wanted to know where he hid the money.
He's going to the charity ball tonight. He's gonna do something terrible.
Not the charity ball!
Yeah, that's what he plans to do. What's the problem here?
Ah, yes, a classic. The box of explosives labeled explosives.
Pointing things out on the screen.
Ixnay! Ihay's atgay and ungay. Ow!
Highway, Izye, Ihe, Uzingwe, Igpe, Atenle, if it...
Next.
I'm just the next employee who's come for his back pay, or should I say payback?
Slightly more evil, Dorian had time to work on his setups and wordplay.
Yeah, so?
That is some Bugs Bunny looking shit right there.
Well, yeah, since this movie is basically a live-action cartoon.
Just one last kiss.
Dorian falls for this one last kiss bullshit.
Narration. Again.
From the real Dorian. The one I used to love.
Dorian falls for this from the real Dorian bullshit.
See the previous sin.
Jesus f***ing Christ.
It's pretty funny to me, so I'll give this my award as well. And here's the end result, everybody. This in total is 116, and the sentence will be flushed away. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have a nice day.